Hello, this is Iyabo. Today we're going to do a short video on choices. That's what the theme is I'm working on this week with the coaching world that I'm in. And thank you for listening to this video. So this whole year, 2018, I've been talking about positive, powerful possibilities. And those three words, I'm going to use them over and over and over throughout the year because it's the single thing that I've found that keeps coming up over and over again. And I made them one thing, but it's three things. Dealing with your mind, right? And where do we want to go? We want to pivot it towards being positive. And we'll talk a little bit about that today. And when we are positive, what do we want? We want to feel all of our personal power. And then the third thing is exploring possibilities. We live in such a changing world. It's literally shifting under our feet with technology, with power and social issues, and nothing feels secure. And so we have to continue to explore powerful possibilities that support and undergird our lives that are positive. So that's the whole reason for all of this. And those are the three things that over the last couple of years my coaching has been focused on as I work with people as they explore their life work, their leadership roles, that kind of thing. So we talked about what is positivity and how there's something solid and present about positivity. Positivity, you have 0, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side and 0. We're not on this side of the equation. We're on this side of the equation. So it's a plus something. It's not a 0. Positivity is not defined by the absence of something. It's defined by the presence of something. And what is that something that we're looking at? That's what we talked about when we defined positivity. We talked about mindset. Do you have a learner's mindset? Are you moving forward, or do you have a fixed mindset that needs validating? We talked about awareness and turning on awareness of everything that's going on around us, of tuning in instead of numbing out and zoning out. We talked about our desires. What do you truly and genuinely want? You, not what people think you should have, but you. And we this past week in my newsletter, we talked about choice. And choice is such a beautiful thing. What I find a lot of times is we limit what we think are our choices. We think we have 3 choices or 2 choices, and they're always a plethora of so many choices that we're not even thinking about. And that's why it's good sometimes to change your environment and speak to someone specifically about it so you get a feel for what those choices are. So when it comes to choice, what I see happening a lot of times is people go to a default. People get so uncomfortable about making choices, and they don't want to make the wrong choice, that I talk about the paradox of choice, right? So why is choice a paradox? Well, the paradox of choice is that so many times, right? We always think of choice as I got to make a right choice, a good choice, or I'll make a bad choice and then bad consequences. But so many times when we do make a choice, often there's more than one choice, and often they're like multiple right choices and no wrong choices. That's just the truth. If you stop and think about it, a lot of times there are no wrong choices. Now, this flies in the face of you telling your teenage son, don't make a bad choice, right? But that's not the kind of choice I'm talking about. We make those moral choices every day. I'm talking about when someone has a job opportunity, or if you want to expand your business, or if you're in leadership. Remember, all of these things speak to our emotional intelligence and our leadership capacity. So when you're in leadership, it is better that you make a choice that fails and you learn from it, rather than don't make a choice at all, or hem and haw and dilly dally till you waiting for the right choice to emerge out of all these choices. No, you've got to learn to fail, people. You've got, if there's one thing I want you to understand, is that every single person fails. Failure is normal. Failure does not define you. Failure is going to guarantee happen. Yes, it will. All day, every day. But alongside those failures are amazing successes. Amazing successes just waiting on you, waiting for you to enter into them. So let's talk about failure, because that's the reason people don't make choices, is they don't want to fail. So I can think of 500 stories to tell you about failure. But number one, very few people have actually died from failure. And number two, very few people have actually been able to prevent failure. The thing with failure is your ability to bounce back. And let's go back to the baby. Baby starts taking steps. Baby falls hard on his or her knees, and baby gets up. And what happens? Does baby give up on walking again in life? No. Baby gets up again and tries to walk. That drive, that instinct is in that baby, that I gotta progress, I gotta grow, I gotta move forward. We have to do this, and it relates to our capacity to take risks, which is an emotional intelligence aspect that we have to develop. But the more risk you take, the more you're able to develop it. And I'm not saying go put all your money in a crazy stock market deal. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about take the risk to apply for that job. Take the risk to think you're capable of more than you think you are. Stop living in this small little box and actually expand your box, right? Now, for you to make these choices, for you to take risks, for you to embrace failure, fail often, fail hard, fail good, bounce, pick back up, learn your lessons and move on, there's a key that you need that we're going to flow into next week. And that key is optimism. I am so excited about optimism, because there is so much, me talking about positivity, there's so much stuff out there that's not positivity. Picking up, saying, I weigh 100 pounds. I weigh 100 pounds. I'm a skinny woman that weighs 100 pounds. I'm not going to weigh 100 pounds that way, okay? However, and so a lot of people think that's positive thinking. I have $1 million in the bank. I'm going to win the lottery. That's not, when you test it against reality, that's not positive. That's not okay. It doesn't pass the sniff test. Because with taking risk, with optimism, with making choices, you have to have that emotional intelligence component called reality testing. And what I love about the word optimism is that it takes on this definition that is a beautiful thing. It doesn't negate the negativity. It does not at all. But it turns you towards positive possibilities. It says, okay, I took a hit. Let me sit down and oh boy, I had a hit. Okay, well, life, we still keep moving forward. And so we then move towards the positive possibilities. So we're going to talk a lot more about optimism and understand that positivity is not Pollyanna behavior, not, oh, praise the Lord, everything's good, the devil is a liar. Okay, all of that is fine. I'm as a woman of faith as the next person is, but let's have some reality testing in it and be able to still hold on to this hope, this envisioning of a positive future, which is what optimism is about. And it's a trait that can be learned. Okay, so if you're not naturally optimistic, you can work on it. And we're going to be talking about that in this week's newsletter and next week on the videos. So what I want you to do is a couple of things. Share this video, like it, make a comment, Tell me what you think. I love feedback, even negative feedbacks, just fine. Tell me, how's that working for you? What are your questions around making choices and about optimism? How's this going for you? Are you following the thread of information that I've been giving out, the content? I want you to tell me. This is Iyabo at CoachIyabo.com. Thank you for listening to this video, and I look forward to interacting with you in the future. Bye-bye.